Okay, so part one of this lab is the shifting of the ionization of sodium chloride. So the first thing we need to do is make a saturated sodium chloride solution. I'm going to fill this test tube with a whole lot of sodium chloride, just so I can guarantee that I make a saturated solution on the first try. Fill it up with some water. Kind of maybe put a little bit too much. It's okay, just dump it out. Alright, and then I'm going to cork it with my thumb. I'm going to shake it. And I'm going to shake it to the point that as much of the salt as possible has dissolved into the water. And then I'm going to let the rest of the salt settle down to the bottom, and I'm actually going to pour off this part right here, because this is the only part that I really want, is the actual salt solution, not the solid salt down here at the bottom. So I'm going to take another test tube and pour this off into it as soon as it settles out. Alright, so it's settled out, and I'm now going to be very careful to just pour off the liquid. I don't want any of the salt to go into the world if it does. And this is a qualitative lab as opposed to quantitative, so if I don't get all the liquid out of here, no big deal. The key thing is I just want liquid over here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my saturated solution of salt. This is water with sodium and chlorine ions in it, and I'm going to shift it back to the solid salt that I started with by introducing some chlorine ions. And of course the best source of chlorine ions is hydrochloric acid. Alright, so here's my hydrochloric acid, concentrated, and I'm just going to drop this in. Let's make sure I get y'all to where y'all can see. Put it in the background. Okay, and as I add this hydrochloric acid, you should be able to see that there's like a white powder, and that's the solid salt. And as the hydrochloric acid works its way down through the salt solution, you'll see that salt form. And eventually equilibrium will be reestablished, and all of this salt will dissolve back into solution. But for right now, we've just kind of temporarily shifted it to where it favors the formation of the solid. And that's all there is to this one.